So Mount Benmore and its surrounding landscape is really quite an old landscape. It's been shaped by processes that occurred many hundreds of millions of years ago, and these processes have given rise to quite an infertile landscape, quite a dissected landscape. So you will have noticed from some of the footage that you've seen thus far that the mountains themselves are not very high. They're a couple of hundred metres high, but the environment itself contains rocks that are quite devoid of nutrients and also have been present on the Earth's surface for long periods of time. The one aspect that has changed, that was a natural process, was that intrusion of the granitic rock into that landscape, and that did change the shape of the rocks, but unfortunately what it did was actually make the rocks harder, and in the end that's had a big bearing on how this landscape has been permeable to water, and that has in the end resulted in some complications with the human interactions with this landscape. So following on, and in terms of geological time, it's not a great period of time or a very long period of time that humans have had an interaction with this landscape. But really what they have done is cleared it and removed the vegetation, and that has resulted in a very saline environment, and that has caused has resulted in the loss of vegetation, and the loss of vegetation has in turn interacted with the old soils, and so the old soils have been very dispersive. And so once the vegetation was removed, the dispersive subsoil was exposed, and so you've got all of these combination of factors. Strangely, Benmore is likely to benefit from the predicted increases in temperature associated with climate change. And it'll benefit because the water table will continue to drop. And although there has been this interaction in the past between the water table and the relatively wet climate, as the climate dries out, the water table will lower, and so salt will be less of a problem in this landscape. So Benmore stands to benefit in that respect. However, the human interaction with the environment around Benmore is likely to dwindle, and that's because the productivity of this landscape will be affected now by the predicted decreases in rainfall and the variability in the rainfall that's associated with climate change. So this increase, or a potential increase of 2 degrees in this landscape, is going to result in much lower productivity, although salinity will probably decrease in this environment. So neither have resulted in a positive impact, I suppose, in the human environment. And the sad thing about that is that the country towns will continue to decline, and that is not good for the Victorian countryside.